Okay, this is the target for B on Reflections Retake video. Okay, so I've written the rules up here. If you're reflecting over the x-axis, then you use this rule. If you're reflecting over the y, you can use this rule. Now, that's if you choose to use point manipulation. But you don't have to use point manipulation. Looks like I didn't grab a pen. You can also just count. So again, I'm going to demonstrate both methods. So remember, the y-axis is this vertical axis right here. So this is the y. So I'm going to trace that so I know that that's the line that I'm reflecting over. So the counting method is you look at the red line and you say, how far away the point is from your red line. So if we're looking at the point A here, it's on the red line, so it's 0 units away. So this is also going to be A prime. A and A prime are the same exact point. But let's look at B because it's a little more interesting here at B. B is how far away from this red line. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units away. But if you notice, it's 4 units on the left side of the line. So B prime is going to be 4 units on the opposite side of the line, which is over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here is B prime. Now C is from the red line. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to the left. So I'm going to go back to the red line, and I'm going to go 6 right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is C prime. Okay, now it's also important that you notice this is not going up or down. It's on the same horizontal line as the original point, right? You're just moving left or right in this case. You're not moving up or down at all. Okay, and then here's D. D is 1, 2, 3 units to the left. So see 1, 2, 3 on the left side. So I want to go 3 on the right side. 1, 2, 3. And this is going to be D prime. And then I just connect the dots. So A and B prime get A prime and B prime get connected. B prime and C prime get connected. Well, that kind of went out of control. Let's erase that one. Try again. Okay. And then C prime to D prime, and then back to A prime. So that should be the picture. My picture's not looking quite as good, but it looks like it should be right. Yeah, it looks right. It just looks messy because the line's not that good. Okay. So that's one way. That's just by counting, and that certainly works. We still have to fill out these points, so let's go ahead and fill the points out. And we'll also, at that point, go over how you can use the reflection rules here. So the original point A is this point 0, -4. And B looks to be -4, 0. And C is the point -6, -3. And D looks to be like -3, -2. So let me get another color out. Okay. So if I'm reflecting over the y-axis, it looks like the point AB gets mapped to this new point -A, comma B. So this -A doesn't mean -A. It means the opposite of what A was. So if A was positive, it becomes negative. So let me say that again. If A was positive to begin with, it becomes negative. If it was negative to begin with, it becomes positive. Okay, that's what that opposite or negative sign there means. So it looks like we're just going to change all of the x-coordinates, because those are the first coordinates, to the opposite of what it was. So if I go over here and underline them, I'm just going to change those signs. So you can't change the sign of 0. The sign of 0 is always nothing. It's either neither negative nor positive. So A prime is the same point that we started with, which was 0, negative 4, and that's what we said. We said it wasn't going to move. Okay, but if I change this negative 4 here in for B prime, this would be the point positive 4, 0. Now remember, only the x value is changing in this case. Okay, so this becomes positive 6, 3, and 3, 2. So now let's just check and make sure that's correct. So we said here's B prime, and B prime is 4, 0, and that's what we said it was going to be, 4, 0. And C prime is right here, and that's 6, negative 3. Oops, and if I look over there, I made a mistake. This says 6, 3. This was 6, negative 3, so that should have said 6, negative 3. And right here, this said negative 3, negative 2, so it should be 3, negative 2. So see, it's a good thing I double check, because I caught my mistake right there. 2 mistakes, right? And then D prime is right here, and that is a point 3, negative 2. So 3, negative 2. So it's correct. Okay, now this one we're reflecting over the x-axis. So again, I'm going to highlight the x-axis. This is the x-axis, and I'm going to demonstrate the counting method. But you are also more than welcome to use rules. So when is one method better than the other? Really, the counting method works fairly well, but sometimes if you're doing this on a computer or something, it's hard to count. So maybe it's easier to use the rule. Also, if your numbers are quite large, maybe you don't want to count that many, so you just use the rule. Okay, so here we go. But I is the point that is on the line, so I isn't going to move. So this is also I prime, so I'm just going to write I prime. Okay, but let's look at J. Where is J in relation to this blue line? And if you look at it, it's 3 below it. So that means J prime has to be 3 in the opposite direction, which would mean 3 above. So 1, 2, 3. 3 above is going to be J prime. And then K is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 below. So K prime has to be 6 above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would be K prime. And then L is 1, 2, 3 below, so L prime is going to be 1, 2, 3 above. And then I'm going to connect the dots. Okay, I really missed that one. That was kind of a whiff, so let's fix that. One more try. There. So that's the reflection. Now again, we're going to double check just like always. So first let's find the original point. So I was a point negative 2, 0. J was a point negative 1, negative 3. And K was a point negative 2, negative 6. And L is a point negative 6, negative 3. Okay, now I prime is, if I follow the rule, this is over the x-axis, so let me get another color pen, we'll use the red. If I'm reflecting over the x-axis, this time it's the second one. A, B gets mapped to A, negative B. So the second value, or the Y value, is the one that changes signs. So I'm going to underline all the second values. And then when I do this, I'm going to write all the first values the same, but I'm going to change the value, the sign of the second one. But you can't change the sign of 0. But this would be negative 1, and then this negative 3 would turn into a positive 3. And this would be negative 2, and this negative 6 would turn into a positive 6. And then negative 6, and then negative 3 would turn into a positive 3. And let's just double check. So is I the point negative 2, 0? And we said it had to be the same, and it is. J prime is right here. That looks like left 1 and up 3, negative 1, 3. K prime is left 2 and up 6, which is negative 2, negative 6. And finally, L is the point negative 6, 3. And negative 6, 3 is correct, so we did it right. Okay. Now for problem number 3, we have to highlight the line of symmetry and write a rule to describe the reflection. So to do this, you compare 2 points. So you could compare B and B prime, A or A prime, C or C prime. It doesn't matter which, but you find the middle of them. So if I looked between A and A prime, this would be the exact middle, right? And if I looked between C and C prime, this would be the middle. And if I look between B and B prime, I notice they're the same point, so the middle would be the exact same point. Now what kind of a line have I just drawn? If I connect all those dots, I've drawn what kind of a line? A horizontal line, right? And oops, I didn't write these rules down, so let me grab another color and I'll write them down. Remember, vertical lines, so that's lines that look like this, straight up and down, vertical. Their x equals blank. And horizontal, those are lines that look like this. Our y equals blank. Okay, so let me grab a pen. So this is a horizontal line, so that's a form y equals. Well, y equals what? So to figure that out, you look at the y-axis and you find the y value at this point, and it's 3. So this is a reflection over the line y equals 3. So I highlighted the line of symmetry, and I wrote the equation of the line. Alright, so here's number 4, and again, I had those rules written down. Let's write them again. I didn't write them on every slide, unfortunately. I wonder if another color might work better. I really think just the yellow. If the orange would work, let me try that. Okay, so a horizontal. No, that's worse. Let's get rid of that. So a horizontal line looks like this, and remember that's y equals blank, and a vertical line looks like that, and that's x equals blank. I think I wrote the orders in opposite rules, but it's the same. Okay, so anyhow, I find the midpoint between all of my pairs of points. So the midpoint between A prime and A is right here. The midpoint between B prime and B is right here. And the midpoint between C prime and C is right here. And if I draw the line connecting those dots, I have a vertical line through this point on the x-axis. And the x value for that is x equals 2. So remember, vertical lines is x equals, but x equals what? Well, it tells me right here x is 2. Okay, and then we have one more of those. Oh no, that's it. Okay, so the following problems have to be checked by either a math lab teacher or your geometry teacher or a geometry support teacher. So here's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Good luck.